Yo, what is going on? I'm sorry. I just had to cut out for a second. I had to get a drink real fast. Yeah, we are here. We have, a couple weeks, less than a couple weeks, to get prepared, to get ready. Eagles run the bowl, the big dance, whatever you want to call it. Want to do a live stream with you guys today. Hopefully not for 5 hours, because every time I want to try to get this stream to an hour at least, because I know I usually go a lot longer. We'll have more content out tomorrow and all that great stuff. But man, I think it finally hit me today. After I think yesterday I was kind of like we're in the Super Bowl. Like I still was mesmerized. I just didn't really hit me until really this morning. I was like, man, like we're ready to go, man. We're ready to get this done. But I appreciate everybody that's in the chat right now. We got 48 people. What's going on? Where are you hiding? What's going on? Philly Nation. We got Kevin, System Bath. We got Sandlot Scout. We got Twiz Diggs. We got Cubsy. What's going on? East Cannon for life. We got Myram. We got Jason Rhodes. JP Gunny. What's going on? Everything's going good. Everything's going very, very well. Been a crazy week this week. Football's been nuts. Content's been crazy. And we're getting ready for this matchup. Ready for this matchup as of right now. I mean, the good news, I think we heard from, honestly, coaching changes and all that stuff. It looks like there's a huge possibility that Shane Steichen and, Jonathan Gannon are going to stay in Philadelphia as of right now, which is a really good thing. Really good thing. What's going on, Myram? Lysol, Michael. Where you hiding? What's going on? If you guys haven't subscribed to Where You Hiding. If you guys have it, he is the Eagles content creator. Let's freaking go, man. I'm pumped. Philly Juan, what's up, dude? This is Super Bowl, baby. Everybody's happy. Everybody's ready to go. Two says, salute, Joey. Let's go. Where are you hiding? So are you getting your jersey with the patch? So excited. They don't even have the jerseys up they don't even have the jerseys up right now. They have these gray jerseys that are on NFL Shop. They don't even have the Super Bowl jerseys on there yet. And if you order one, apparently people that have ordered Super Bowl jerseys there's black Super Bowl jerseys out. But I'm not, obviously I want to get the color that they wore in the game. But apparently these people that order jerseys are not going to get them till after the Super Bowl. So is it, to get one is going to be worthless, really, as of right now, unless you don't care about getting it after the Super Bowl. Donald Martin says, Bird Gang, Sacramento, California, in the building. What's going on, Donald? I hope you're having a good day, man. Philly wants us a big dance. Let's go get us 2-man. Jeff, what's going on, dude? Hope you're doing good. Joe Sirianni, what's going on, dude? We got Oates in the building. We got David Alston. We got Chris Coffin. What's going on, dude? Torville says, what up, Joey? What's going on, man? Jamal says, the Eagles, despite their accomplishments, are still being disrespected by some of the media. Yeah, I mean, look, it's been a crazy week, especially that both of these conference games were rigged. I mean, if you look at that Bengals-Chiefs game, that was kind of nuts. Our game, besides really the Devontae Smith, that was a missed, opportunity for the 49ers to throw a flag on that or to challenge it. I think they called the right penalties, especially on the 49ers defense. I mean, every call was legit. Every single call that they had. You know what I mean? So I don't care what any of these guys say, whatever. They're still talking about it, that both of these conference games are rigged. Easy road for the Super Bowl for the Eagles. I did a whole rant on that the other day. It's been kind of crazy. Show Flex says if the Eagles are going to beat the Chiefs, Jalen Hurts can't play like he played against the 49ers. No. I don't know if that shoulder has been really bothering him. It wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't surprise me if Hurts has to get some little tiny bit of an operation after the season's over. I have a feeling that, I don't know, a lot of these balls were underthrown. The one that A.J. Brown was underthrown, overthrown, and a couple of the other passes were underthrown as well. So, I mean, there was a few passes that I probably put in question, but it wasn't just Jalen Hurts. I think some of the play calling was in that game, but the defense just took over. I mean, just really took over. But the offense was doing fine, man. Look, I think Hurts only had 120-something yards passing, but they had 4 rushing touchdowns. They didn't really start. I think they ran with Jalen Hurts one time in the second quarter. Then, end of the third quarter to the fourth, they really started to incorporate some run designs with Hurts. involvement with the run game. And, yeah, it made a huge difference. It made a big difference going into it. Drip says, Fly goes fly. Sup, bro? What's going on, Drip? Got Tyrese. What's going on? Let's see here. Yo, Brother Love Studios. What's going on, man? I was actually watching one of your highlights the other day, I think. That's the only, I think because of your logo. That's the only way I knew it, because I was looking at highlights the other night. Chuck says, Joey, they're already making excuses and doubting us. Yeah, dude. Like, I don't care. What are we? Are we 2.5 favorites in this game? Or I don't even know what the spread is for this game. James, what's going on? He says, hi, Joey. Super Bowl. Jay says, I can watch the clip of Eagles fans yelling at Joey Bush all day. So funny. I know. He was real salty, bro. JP Gunning said, I think he said Eagles will represent as the home team so they can get to pick their colors first. Well, it looks like they're wearing the green jerseys. It looks like Kansas City's wearing their whites. So, chilling. Clarence says, pity we didn't have Kelly green jerseys this year. Yeah, next year will be good. Jason Gould said, we'll beat the Chiefs. I feel great about it. We have a better team overall already. Yeah, you know what? It's even watching KC against the Bengals, like, they barely ran the football. They're developing some injuries right now between their wide receivers, a couple offensive linemen, on top of Mahomes not being 100%, and he won't be 100%. I don't care if it's 2 weeks that he's going to be off. That high ankle sprain is going to take a little bit longer than that. So, you know, I don't fear their defense that much, besides Chris Jones and I forgot. I'm having a brain fart. A couple defensive linemen are good, but really, other than that, Hufanga, whatever his name is, that safety is pretty good. But I mean, I think we match up. I think the matchup's in our favor offensively with their defense. I think we'll be fine, to be honest with you. As long as they can contain Chris Jones from causing too much havoc, I think we'll be good. He's can't realize that I found a team Captain Hurts jersey for $6,000. Oh, because it's got the captain patch on it. Bro, you need to, I swear you could probably get that captain patch and do that yourself and sell it for triple the money. Like, no joke. Boats are not rigged. They won't even give the Eagles respect, much less. No, they're not going to give us respect. That's just how it is. We got to get used to it. That's just what it is. I mean, it's simple as that. When it comes to these games like this, they're always going to nitpick. And because you faced a third-string quarterback in Brock Purdy, you knocked him out. You knocked Johnson out of the game, their fourth-string quarterback. You know what I mean? And, you know, it's their fault. It's their fault that they got injured. It's not ours. It's not like Purdy had an Achilles injury, like a non-contact injury. We just demolished them. I mean, we just literally demolished them. Wayne Speed says, what up, Joe? I can't believe we in the bowl, bro. I'm pumped. Where you hiding says Trent Williams needs to be suspended for a game going into next season. Yeah, I doubt that's going to happen. For next season, probably not. But, you know, the fights do happen like this. I mean, but yeah, it got pretty crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Oh, it says people hated on the Patriots when they were winning. They are jealous. That's all. Who that dude? What's going on, man? Say what up, Joe? Congrats on the Super Bowl run. Appreciate it so much, man. Appreciate it so much, dude. Yeah, it's been a crazy year this year. It's been a crazy year. Myron says y'all acting like no. I mean, I'm not saying he played bad. Like when it came to the passing game, it wasn't really great. You know, I know. I think some of the play calling wasn't great. I think AJ Brown had a easy slant pass, dropped that. You know, there was a few throws that weren't good, but I think overall he did fine when he ran himself and he was getting that offense going with the run game. I think he was perfectly fine. When we said watch Howie going to get another Saints pick since they got their first pick and 24 second round pick back for Sean Payton. Yeah, it's kind of nuts, right? It's kind of nuts. Yeah, so that Sean Payton trade was kind of crazy. I mean, the trade for a coach is ridiculous, but Bones of the Eagles need to be methodical in this game, keep the Chiefs off the field. Yeah, they have to. I think our defense is going to get after it. I really do. That defensive line this is the best defense that they're facing. So they're going to eat, man. They're definitely going to eat. 1.5 favorites right now. Yeah, yeah. So that's really nothing. Yeah, Frank Clark. Yeah, so Chris Jones and Frank Clark are really the only ones defensively I'm really worried about. Really, I mean, that's for KC's defense. That's all I can really say about that. JB says, I love our chances. They just have to stick to a game plan and not get too cute or reckless with plays. No, I totally agree. I mean, I don't think they'll get too cute with plays, but I mean, I think out of the gate, they're going to pass on this team. Like, I think they're going to do the same thing that they have always been doing. It's just really how they feel coming out of the gate, you know? I think they'll be fine, though. Hold on. I'm trying to get this stream up on my phone. This way we're good to go. Okay. All right, we're good. Just making sure the stream was working here. What if you teach run defense is average? We faced the best defense in the playoffs. Kansas City's defense is nothing compared. It is beyond nothing compared to what beyond what the 49ers have defensively. It's not even close. Not even close. Jamal Brown to the Chiefs and Bengals look lackluster in the AFC Championship game. Like, it's crazy, guys. Like, we faced the Giants 3 times, our third time in the divisional round, and we literally creamed them. You know, we literally just destroy them. And then this 49ers game, thinking that it was going to be a lot closer than we thought, we destroyed them. And we, I guess you could say we struggled offensively a little bit on some plays, opportunities on some plays, and we still got it done, and we still destroyed them. You know, it's just not trying to be cocky, not trying to be conceited or anything, but this team is really good. It's really, really good. Just not our fault QBs are all made of glass, and that is true. That's true. Jay says, I'm tired of hearing we won the championship by flat. Yeah, I get it. That defense had over 10 penalties. They had over 10 penalties. They were frustrated, guys. Like, they were frustrated. There wasn't one penalty that 49ers defense had that I'm questioning right now. Every penalty they had was legit. Like, trust me, I'm unbiased about when it comes to flags and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Fly, for instance, Eagles wearing green jerseys. What are your thoughts about it? I think that's what they should be wearing. I don't like the white jerseys at all. I really don't. That's your apologist says Hurts didn't need to do anything special in the Niners game. He'll go all out in the Super Bowl. Yeah, that's what I think too. I think they limited Jalen Hurts from doing a lot. They ran with him one time in the second quarter, and they really stayed away from it till like the end of the third to like into the fourth quarter. So they didn't really do too much with him. Shooto Flex says, it don't matter the team. The difference in the game will be Pat Mahomes. I watched Dak light us up this game. It will be a shootout, and Hurts will have to deliver. Andy definitely cooking up right now. Yeah, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. And look, I think the explosiveness of Patrick Mahomes hasn't really been there since the injury, but the guy can still throw the football regardless. You know, Travis Kelce, I think, will be. I thought Kittle was gonna be a big problem this past week. And he wasn't, because it was all about the quarterback. You know, the quarterback had to really know, you know, that you had Brock Purdy. He just couldn't get it done. It didn't last long, obviously. You know, I think the Eagles still would have won that game. Even with Brock Purdy was still in the game the whole entire time. But, you know, Travis Kelce is definitely another one you have to watch. Pacheco is you know, they use these speedy receivers as running backs. They use them in the backfield. They spread them out. They do whatever they want. You know, they have a lot of speed guys. So tackling is going to be a number one thing going into this game, because what I saw on Christian McCaffrey with 3 broken tackles for a touchdown, that really pissed me off. That was really the only thing that pissed me off defensively going into that game against the 49ers. Like those 3 McCaffrey missed hits on him were pretty bad. To you says, hey, Joey, how you feel about Jalen's shoulder? I feel like he's fine. I think in 2 weeks he'll be fine. I think it's enough time for him to, to heal up. I don't know how healthy that shoulder is, because some of those throws were like, was actually shocked he didn't get some of these deep passes, or at least throwing these dagger shots. I thought they had more of a chance, but I don't know. I felt like maybe it could have been the case. Chris says, Shakespeare brother, we're winning the Super Bowl. We came full circle playing the head coach that turned around this franchise. I know it's nuts. I mean, a coach till the year 2012 that, you know, was in a few NFC Championship games have failed. And then I think Nick Sirianni's got something up his sleeve too, because, you know, he was hired by Kansas City. Andy Reid came in there as the head coach, and he was fired. And I know Andy Reid fired him. There's no doubt. He picked his own coaching staff, and Nick was the odd man out as a wide receiver coach, which was kind of crazy. Which I didn't even know Sirianni was even with. You know, I haven't been following Sirianni like for years. I didn't even know he was with Kansas City for that short stretch that he had. Torville says, I would bet Hurts needs shoulder surgery after the season. Ray Dillinger thinks so too. The Eagles are probably going to need to rely on the run game and defense to win. Yeah, probably. But I'm not saying Hurts can still throw the ball. There's no doubt. Taking deep shots, we'll see. We'll find out. But this 2 weeks of rest is definitely going to help. At least the 2 weeks, at least a week and a half, is definitely going to help him. And hopefully it does wonders. So Robert says 49ers literally lost their entire roster at QB. I don't get how they thought they were more physical. Sends a message to KC. Reddick is going to eat. Yeah. I mean, the Eagles players didn't say nothing all week to the media. They said absolutely nothing. Kansas City, these players, the 49ers, these players were saying about how physical they were going to be at the link, at the Road Warriors. The link is going to be as loud. They think their stadium. I mean, I even watched the 49ers Cowboys game, and that game wasn't loud. It wasn't to me, from what I could see. Big D says Reddick has been a momentum killer for opponents. Yeah, man. It's nuts. Miles says, once again, the game will have to be won in the trenches. I totally believe that. Aver says, they say the Birds haven't faced an offense like the Chiefs, which is true, but have they faced a defense like ours? I said this earlier. They haven't. They haven't. OHB says, good thing is Gann staying. I like the way he's calling the plays in the playoffs, and I heard 49ers going after Fangio. Yeah, it could be, I don't know, the Miami Dolphins thing. He was supposed to sign there. That didn't happen. I don't know if that was a rumor or not. And then I don't know what's been going on. I know I saw DeMeco Ryans, got his head coaching job. I saw Sean Payton's going to Denver now from the trade. Vic Fangio, don't know what's going on. So he could be over there. Yo, Matthew, what's going on, dude? Winsby said, I can see Steichen getting hired by Colts so we can promote Brian Johnson, OC. I don't think the Colts have interest. I don't even know if they even have interest. I think he was a huge finalist for that Panthers job, the Carolina job, and Frank Reich took it right away. I think Steichen's staying. There might be a chance. I know for a fact that Jonathan Gannon's staying. I think so. He said after the game he wasn't going anywhere. He said that to one of the people that were interviewing him. Clarence said, we have to get Mahomes running backwards like Tampa Bay did. Sue knows what's up. Yeah, dude. I'm telling you. But he says Philadelphia grinded it out and gone to San Fran's head enough. Oh, yeah. We beat them physically, and we definitely beat them mentally. And I think what made it put the cherry on top, I think what really put the cherry on top of that game was that fight with Trent Williams. I think that literally symbolized how frustrated they were, and they couldn't get it done. I mean, it was over at that point. You know what I mean? Charlie said 49ers D will make you struggle. We still put up 31. That's what I'm saying, dude. It's absolutely insane. Ben Adams says, Joey, it's the Eagles' year. It's Ben, man. All I had the question about this year was the coaching staff and how they put these players in the right positions to win football games. Really, it came down to the coaching staff. I never questioned the talent we had. I thought we had the best roster in the NFL. But when it came down to coaching, that's what was going to designate us to potentially get into the playoffs and potentially how far we were going to get. Really, it was like week 5 or 6, and me and Philly were talking about, can Jalen Hurts win a playoff game? That's what we were talking about. We didn't know what was going to happen when you get into the playoffs. So he's got two playoff wins under his belt already, which is kind of nuts. So it's crazy, man. Bray Hyde says defense was not disciplined at all. Niners have no excuses. No, they weren't. You have over 10 penalties on defense. That's not good. Not good. Tommy says, Nick from Thursday First still throwing shade at us, even though he said 49ers was going to beat us. Yeah, I don't care about him. I don't care. Yo, VP Ord, what's going on, man? He says, hey, Joey, did you see they're calling Reddick a dirty player? That is getting this. Dude, it's this world today, man. Football is never going to be the same like it used to be, man. It's just not. Between you got to hit quarterbacks the right way, between taunting, and you can't. There's so much. They're taking away so much from the game from these receivers and cornerbacks that are, fighting for the ball. It's just getting so weak. This league is getting it's getting so weak now. Now Reddick is too dirty. What? Philly for the Raptor says Big Red is definitely going to be going to try a trick play of some sort of fake punt or onside kick. Yeah, I think he'll try to do that. Eagles haven't been great on the trick plays. We fell for a couple of them this year. That dude says, barring a major catastrophe, I don't see the Chiefs beating the Eagles. I think Eagles blow out KC. Yeah, we'll see if it's a blowout, dude. Like, I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I'm not going to get cocky about it because they are still a great team. I don't think they should have been in the Super Bowl. I think that game did not. I mean, they went in their favor for one play, but there were some weird things that happened in that Bengals KC game. So it was kind of nuts. Chris said, "What up, Joey? We are physically with the dominance on defense, persistence on offense. Over it. Bring on the Chiefs." They still say we played a wounded Mahomes. Yeah, it doesn't look. Jalen Hurts is going to get his respect after that. If he gets this win in the Super Bowl, that's the only way he's going to get respect. And I don't even care, dude. The Super Bowl is a Super Bowl at the end of the day. Like, however these games are called is on the refs. You know what I mean? Chris Scott said, we much better in the trenches than KC on offense attack. Their defense throwing the ball early lead. Totally agree. I think they have to throw short passes. I think they still have to run the ball. I think they could definitely run on KC. I have no issue with that at all. HP said, Maddox coming back was huge. Him and Gardner Johnson are undefeated on the field together. Yeah, he made a couple really good plays. Maddox had that tackle in the backfield. And Maddox is actually the healthiest player we have because he was out for weeks. He was out for a while. So most of these guys are banged up. All these guys by the end of the season like this are banged up. Okay, you already have Lane Johnson dealing with a torn abductor right now. He torn it again last week after the Giants game and shut down Nick Bosa. I mean, Nick Bosa got injured and Lane Johnson is injured and needs surgery and still got it done. It's absolutely amazing to see, like, the fight. We just need him healthy for one more game, and I like the rest that he's going to get the next couple weeks. It's really it's another bye week for us. It's another going to the Super Bowl. It's a whole nother bye week, which is a great thing. It's awesome. Texas says we are better in the trenches on both sides. That's where you win games, and I think that's where the Eagles have been good at. That's where the Eagles have drafted. That's where the depth wise. I mean, Linval Joseph and Ndamukong Suh since week 7 have been fantastic. A huge help. Jordan Davis went down. Those two come in. Robert Quinn didn't really do much last game either. I think we wasted a 4th round pick unless he really explodes in the Super Bowl. They had him in pass coverage a little bit in the Giants game, which it did work, but. Robert Quinn hasn't really done much of anything. Playoff-wise, he hasn't done much of anything so far. So, Ray Small says, I think our secondary will beat Mahomes' QB play if we contain him. Yeah, we just have to contain him, make sure we don't have an open lane on the outside, and just get after him. Run your stunts, run some blitzes. I mean, Gannon has been just fantastic, just aggressive, just amazing. Trexler says, I need a big game from AJ. I know, man. Oh, it depends on Jalen Hurts, too, man. It's not all on AJ. I know AJ dropped that one ball. It could have had a potential touchdown, that overthrown ball in the game. He had an overthrown ball in this game and an overthrown ball in the Giants game. And that's when, he got, he was a little pissed off that he was getting out of the game. Avengers fan says, Patrick Mahomes voodoo doll. Nah, not this year, man. This year's going to be different because I'm not doing the same thing as I did last time. It's a different team now. I'm staying away from that. Ray Hyden says Niners didn't give our defense credit. Instead, they accused our defense of malicious acts of hurting their QB. That's why we play the game. We play to win. That's insane, dude. Jeff said the missed deep shots left points off the board in both playoff games, at least 3 touchdowns. Yeah, dude. I mean, this could have been close to 40 points for both game, over 40 points for the Giants game, close to 40 points for. They should have scored twice. They should have had 2 more touchdowns in that 49ers game. It should have been over 40 points. EC says, yo, Joey, we winning 38-10. Savvy says, protecting the QB is a part of the game, and the Niners were trash at it all year. Shanahan being mentioned as coach of the year is a joke. I don't know, man, because Nick Sirianni has beat all the finalists besides Andy Reid. So Bobo says, I'm very comfortable heading into this game because our run game is so dominant and the best run D in the league couldn't even stop it. And look, I'm not saying, and look, I thought they played really good defense. I thought they limited a lot. I thought they limited to what the Eagles could do. I thought they limited Hurts with his legs, like that read option he was trying to do when we were backed up to their end zone. That wasn't a safety. He rolled over Bosa and hit on the 1 yard line. I thought they did a good job on really, and then in the red zone, what they tried to do was they tried to just have their 4-man pass rush and then move everybody back and kind of contain the whole defense, kind of containing Hurts that way, which kind of didn't work either. So they really tried, but in the end, they fell apart. Anthony Hans says Hurts is projected to get an extension of 6 years, $263 million, 175 plus guaranteed, average of $43.6 million per season. That's kind of low, isn't it? I mean, that's pretty low. I mean, I was hearing 50 plus. I mean, who's going to get signed first after this year? Is Joe Burrow going to get signed? You know what I mean? Like, you have to look for these other quarterbacks. That'd be a steal, wouldn't it? I mean, that would be a steal, wouldn't it be? In my eyes, I think that's a lot lower than I expected. For winning the Super Bowl, he's going to get paid $43.6 a season. I don't know. Mariam says, I feel like Hassan Reddick is going to hurt Mahomes. The narrative is going to be that we injure QBs. Jesus. Yeah, I mean, that's what Mahomes got to watch out for too, because if someone lands on his ankle, it's going to be bad. Philly for the Raptors says, people don't realize how important Avonte Maddox is to the scheme. More coverage, Saxton coming in the Super Bowl. Yeah, dude. I'm telling you. Thank God we got Maddox back. Thank God. Even getting Chauncey Gardner-Johnson back at safety. Reed Blankenship is in there, you know. So, Jeff says Reddick is a legitimate defensive player. Oh, 100%. 100%. He was totally snubbed. At least as a finalist, he was snubbed. Totally. JC, so cool. So the same game plan the Bucs did to him that Super Bowl is what we need to do. Dank said the Chiefs' offense is good, but ours is up there with them. Says tied in points per game. And we're going to find out. It's going to go down to the trenches, like who said in the chat earlier. It's going to come down to the trenches. Gabriel says, what up, Joe? What's going on, Gabriel? Thanks. However, they're not as explosive with Tyreek Hill. No, but they're still good. I mean, they still got, Juju. I'm not really afraid of Juju. The other guy, he has like 3 names in his name. He's a good receiver. I think we had interest in him early in free agency as well. I think a year ago. Their receivers don't. Pacheco is probably one that's going to scare me a little bit because, he's quick. Out of the backfield, he's quick. As a receiver, he's quick. Special teams, he's good. And, our special teams make me a little nervous. Brett Kern, Valdez, yes. MVS, yes. Valdez Scantling, I can never say his name right. I think he's really good. Pacheco's really good. And like I said, Brett Kern, our punter, I thought he was horrible. Whether that ball hit the camera wire or not, I don't know. I mean, I have no idea, but should be interesting. We got Logan Motorsports going on, man. He says, yo, Joey and Eagles Nation, ignore the haters, cry. Haters cry. Thanks. I thought they lost it when Greenlaw started punching the ball like Mike. They said it on television. They were like he was punching the ball like Rocky Balboa. It was funny. He was taking just huge. I mean, he hit Gainwell's arm like once. I think he hit him in his arm once or twice. Tried hitting the ball, but yo, GG, what's going on, dude? So what up, Joey? I don't think this game is going to be close. Eagles should dominate the Chiefs, dude. It's really tough for me to say they're not going to dominate in this game because, like I said, that Giants game was going to be close. They demolished them. I said that 49ers game was going to be close, and they demolished them. So it's really tough for me to say that it's going to be a close game, but it could be, it really could. But it really depends on Patrick Mahomes. It depends on the coverage. It depends on the pressure we get. What Gannon dials up in this game. I think, like I said, I think the trenches is where that's the number one difference it's going to go to. So, once that can go on, I think his offense can have more creativity than we've seen. Seems like our passing game is just slants and go balls. Andy Reid would have Hurts average 300 passing yards per game. I don't think that's totally true because I think we've seen a lot of diversity from Steichen. But whatever is working, guys, it works. I've questioned Steichen a little bit, but this team's got 14 wins this year because of it. I think he's staying. I think I was more of a Steichen fan than I was a Gannon fan this year when it came to the regular season. Phil D says, I actually give Mahomes credit, him playing with. Oh yeah, he's dude. He's awesome, man. He's I don't like him, but he's a tough player, man. I respect him for that. You know what I mean? Winsby said Nakobe Dean wasn't scared against Trent Williams. Nah, he got punched in the face. After he threw Kevon Wallace to the ground, he punched Dean in the face, and Dean went at Dominican Sue was after him, too. Joe says, I think Hurts deep ball will be fine. It's not like he's underthrowing them. He's overthrowing them. Once he settles down, he will hit the deep ball, AJ. I hope so. Thanks. I remember one and done. I remember it too, man. That's all they were saying. Big D says, I'm uploading a vid. Are people going to a certain per? Yeah, I don't care about all that. I don't care about that. Jamal said, do you think the win was a factor in the NFC Championship game? It was kicking past. No, I don't think so. I don't think it was, to be honest. I think it was like 16-mile-an-hour winds at one point, and then it went down. So I don't think it was at all. Joe Flex, I trade a release Slay and re-sign Bradbury and CJ and draft a cornerback. I get younger on defense. I trade a release Slay, re-sign Bradbury. Yeah, that would be an option that they could go if they really want. It just depends. Slay's here for another year. Bradbury's going to be a free agent. I think they have to do everything in their power to re-sign Bradbury. I think they have to do it. I still think they should draft a corner early, even if you have Slay and Bradbury here. I think they should still have him as as another corner. I understand you don't redshirt a first-round pick, but to have a guy learn behind a few guys, I think would be awesome. People won't agree with that, but we have to see what they do through free agency and all that stuff, and then we'll figure out what's going to happen. So, Philadelphia Raptors, Gann was luring offensive coordinators asleep. He was playing a long chess game with film. That's finally paying off. From what the rumors are about Gann in the last few weeks of the season, or the whole season, that he's been hiding plays and he wasn't really giving up too much, showing too much of what this defense can do. And I used to question it all the time, and I think we're starting to find out that I'm sorry, but Gannon has played pretty damn aggressive these last two playoff games. Big D said that was a clean play by Hassan Reddick. Gabriel says it passed me off. It pissed me off because some NFL comments were saying we need an to this. Nah, dude, you know what? I'm not even getting into all that, man. That's just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. I'm really behind the chat. I do. I'm sorry. I'm really behind. We got a member for 15 months. Just call me Flair. Thank you so much for the Shake Squad Captain tier. He says, yo, Joey, what's good? We going to the Super Bowl, baby. F the Cowboys and the 49ers. Eagles will win 35-28. So that's a close game right there. Appreciate it so much. Just call me Flair. Yeah, it's. I think it will be close, but if the defensive line gets some pressure on Mahomes, they could be in trouble. They could be in trouble. It might not even be that close. It might be a little separate, maybe a little bit more than that. I think they'll separate themselves a little bit more than that if they get pressure on Mahomes and this coverage is really good. So I think there's a big chance there. Dag says they're trying to scare us by saying they have Chris Jones and Frank Clark. It doesn't scare me. It doesn't. This is the number one offensive line in football right now. The number one offensive line with a hurt Lane Johnson that needs surgery. I don't have, and Dickerson will be perfectly fine. The news came out about Landon Dickerson. He will be perfectly fine coming to the, playing in the playoffs. No problem. He overextended his elbow, but he will be fine. So nothing crazy there. Sam says Slay and Epps need to stop whiffing on tackling, but put Blankenship in over Epps. Yeah, I'm not a big Epps guy. Like I'm looking to see him walk after this year. I'm just not. I'd rather move Reed to that spot going into next year. And look, they're going to compete. Reed's not a starter for next year. They're going to bring in more competition, see what he does. You know what I mean? So Gary says Lane Johnson's a comic book hero. Totally agree. Joe said the Eagles have a huge advantage over Chiefs with both of their lines. That's why we will be parading in 2 weeks. Dank says their defense played well, but the Eagles just wore them down. Yeah. Which is the only touchdown they had. Epps blew up the play. He didn't wrap up. He didn't. I don't think Epps even touched McCaffrey on that play. I don't think Epps even touched McCaffrey. McCaffrey literally hurdled him. Like, it was a really short hurdle. I don't even think he touched him at all. Troll says Shanahan basically got Purdy hurt by trying to have a backup tight end handle Reddick one-on-one of a deep drop. dude, you put a backup tight end against Hassan Reddick. I mean, I didn't even at the time, because I'm streaming, I don't even see all this because I'm looking at the chat, I'm looking at the game, and I'm going back and forth. So I didn't even until I heard from I think Fran Duffy after the game, and I was like, really? That's kind of insane. Philly D says, when I hear only 43.6 mil, that's all. I feel like a loser. I know it's a lot of money, dude. These practice squad players are getting paid a lot of money. Guys that are just backups, or guys that are just on practice squad get paid a lot of money. It's a lot of money, you know. Wait, I remember when Chiefs beat us last year. Mahomes said that was the toughest defense he ever faced. Yeah, we'll see. It got better though. Yeah, we got a lot better than that defense. I'll tell you that much. Antonio Holmes, what's going on, man? He said Hurts will get signed before Burrow because then he has fifth year. Hurts was second rounder, so no fifth year. Yeah, but at the end of the day, if Hurts gets signed, that extension won't happen until the year after next year. So Hurts will be really cheap next year, and the Eagles can make another run next year. You know what I mean? Like the Eagles can make moves this year. This offseason coming up. I mean, I don't even really want to talk about the offseason right now, but I definitely will be getting into all that really soon. Next after 2 weeks, we'll be celebrating the Super Bowl hopefully, and we'll be getting to this offseason and defending the title, man. JB says Mahomes is the X factor in this game. Without him, they are average at best. Truth be told, no, I totally agree. And same thing with Jalen Hurts being with the Eagles. We saw what Minshew did for 2 weeks. It was horrible. XOA, what's going on, man? Ray Huntington, can you keep saying it's close game every time? I mean, maybe I should just say that this way, reverse psychology. Maybe it's just the reverse psychology factor. I gotta keep saying that. Big D says, I didn't look dominant against San Francisco. Philadelphia was reward a points courtesy of San Francisco incompetence. Yeah, but dude, like they easily could have lost that game if they wanted. The Eagles could have made mistakes. The Eagles barely made mistakes in that game. But I can't say they didn't dominate. I mean, look, you scored 4 rushing touchdowns on the number 1 defense. I mean, regardless of over 10 penalties or not, Hurts made the plays. We went for it on 4th down. Hurts ran and had some good runs. Like I'm not giving San Francisco. I'm not going to discredit our offense for what San Francisco did defensively. I mean, they talked their crap. They got into that game and they were frustrated, and it got worse throughout the whole entire game. So, Jeff said if Jalen is close to 100% and runs, we are winning one big. So hard to stop. No, it is. If Hurts is 100% and he's running. Yeah, I mean, we didn't see it that much in the first half. We saw one run in the second quarter, and then by the end of the third to the fourth, we started to run the football a lot better, and we started to have some run designs with Hurts, and it killed them. It really did. The one where he broke free and got to like the 10 or like the 5, whatever it was, that was critical. Like that one, I thought he was sacked on, and that was our huge critical one that we got. WSP says that Slay said their defense looked personal, and Kittle called them paper team. I'm telling you. Files Live PCA5, what's going on? I said, what up, Shake Squad? Just watching the Blacklist. I think Eagles win big, silence all the haters worldwide. Hashtag hurt season. Dude, we're going to silence everybody. Gabriel says, Joey, I literally live half a mile from the stadium in a trailer park. I'm excited to tailgate, man. Hey, dude, you live close, so that's a good thing. It's a good thing. DH says 0 of the teams that played wild card weekend made it to the Super Bowl. Jeff says Mahomes will have to soak with those bath balls, but after the Eagles defense turn him in. It's from that damn commercial he's in. It's Dragons Squad says if we win, Lane and Kelsey would retire. Why not use that money? I don't know what's going to happen. Brandon Graham said he's not retiring, but it doesn't mean he's coming back to the Eagles. Like he had 11 sacks. He's got a big payday coming. 2-3 year deal. He's got a pretty good payday coming towards him. And I don't know if he's going to take another pay cut. The last one, that 3-year deal that he had the last time Brandon Graham got signed, he took a hometown discount. He could have got paid a lot more money somewhere else. You know what I mean? So, it's tough, man. I can't see Brandon Graham going anywhere else. I can't imagine him playing for another team and the Eagles just saying, I mean, I don't see them putting him on a 1-year deal for $1 million, $5 million or so. I don't see that contract. They could, but Graham's gonna probably reward himself and be like, I kind of want more money. Like, I don't blame him. End of this. Usually, these guys at the end of their career, they start to get these short year deals that get them a lot of guaranteed money, and that's what a lot of these guys do. And if they're playing well, then that's a great thing. So, you know what I mean? Thanks. That I'm going to sign Hargrave, Bradbury, final linebacker, or draft one. So you're letting Kaiser White walk. You're letting TJ Edwards walk. I think besides the Hurts, the Hurts extension, I think you're signing Chauncey. You're signing Hargrave. They got to keep TJ Edwards. I think the odd man out is going to be Bradbury. Could be Graham, and most likely Fletcher's gone, unless he comes back on a 1-year deal or something. If they want to get more depth and they want to keep Fletcher for another year, that's on them. You know what I mean? So, good thing he didn't have a double-digit sack season, but still. Tovis said, I think Hargrave and Chauncey Gardner would be primary two that we focus on extending other than Hurts. Bradbury is great, but probably can't afford him now. Yeah, probably not. Probably not. I don't think so. Chubbs, I used to be Gann hater, then put up the most sacks in the NFL by far and held defense in the playoffs to 14-point total, which is true. Yeah, it's hard to look away from that. Flagos 5, PC85 said, if we win, I believe Kelsey, Lane, Cox, and Graham will retire if we win. I don't know if Kelsey's going to go. But if Samala's a free agent, I think Samala's a free agent because his contract's voided next year. You can't have Cam Jurgens sitting on the bench next year. You can't. I mean, Cam Jurgens is good. Like when you see Cam Jurgens next to Kelsey, it looks like Jason Kelsey in a uniform. Like, no joke. You can't sit Cam Jurgens next year. If Kelsey stays, you can't sit him. You got to put him at guard or something next year. They got to do something with him. If you guys remember, they actually tried putting him at guard. He was supposed to cross-train the guard next to Kelsey last year. Well, this past offseason. But because Kelsey had the orthoscopic elbow surgery to clean out his elbow, when he had to do that, they had to force Cam Jurgens at center, and he was a immediate impact for us. Reed says, what was Jack Stahl doing with the blocking assignment on Bosa when he was nearly a safety? It was a horrible block. Like, he just bumped into him. I didn't like that. That almost cost us, 2 points right there, plus them getting the ball back from the safety. The average says, who cares? I don't care if we win the Super Bowl with Patrick's mom at quarterback, throwing in Andy Reid as wide receiver. Chris Morales says the Chiefs aren't healthy right now. Most of the receivers are banged up, but for the love of God, if it comes down to Mahomes on the last drive, cannot give him the ball with more than 12 seconds. I totally agree. Anything could happen, man. Anything could definitely happen. Kenny Vargas says, Joey said, we need to stop their run. Checo is scaring, so we need to stop Checo and Travis. They didn't run that much in that Bengals game. They really didn't run that much. But they will run against us. There's no doubt. I think Pacheco is one of the most dangerous guys they have, because once he gets free, they don't catch him in open space. It's going to be over. You know what I mean? Livingston says the Chiefs are playing the drop back 40 plus times. They get to pin their ears back all game. Antonio says Chris Jones just got his first ever sack in the playoffs. Stop it. Hey, he's a good player. I think he had two. What do you have? Two or three sacks? Did he have 2-3 sacks against the Bengals? I could be wrong. I thought he had 2 at least. Yo, Paladin Kid, what's going on, dude? He says LFG. We're ready to go, man. Block the trolls. Nah, don't block. Don't block. As long as he's not spamming, I'm fine. I'm fine. He's a Cowboy fan that's very upset right now. Thanks. We dealt with Dexter Lawrence, Nick Bosa, who are all pros. Obviously, we can handle Jones and Clark. Chubb says Cubsy is a mind-broken thing in the chat for the team he doesn't like. That's in the Super Bowl. Get a job. Big D says we did put Stahl against Bosa once, which almost ended up in a safety. Yeah, it was close. It was really close. We got GT. Oh, Gio says it's just a Philly thing. Flaggles fly. We're ready to go, man. DG says Philly wins Super Bowl and claims the title of best NFC team this century Sunday after next. Thanks says, we aren't beating the Giants. We aren't beating the Giants. We aren't beating the 49ers. That's what was said, man. That's what was said. Joe says, for all the talk about Eagles being lucky, these people don't remember that it's not that long ago that it was I'll kill a guy with the ball, especially the QB. Injuries are reality, not luck. That's the truth. We got injuries. They already said we were one and done when Jalen Hurts got hurt. When Jalen Hurts got hurt in the Chicago after the Chicago game, they already said we were going to be one and done. And Lane Johnson tore his abductor. Like, they thought we were done. They thought we were done. John says, but y'all not playing nobody. Fly PCA 5. You want to piss off Cowboys fans, Eagles, and win more Super Bowls than Dallas after winning 5? That should be funny. Yeah, that's the only way they're really going to be depressed by that time. Ryan said, let's go Philadelphia Eagles. And I see Jalen Hurts will not play in the Pro Bowl game. Hell no. I don't want any of that stupid flag football guy. Who watches the Pro Bowl now? Like, who cares about the Pro Bowl? Sick One Manny said, what up, Joey? Go Bird. What's going on, Sick One Manny? How you doing, bro? The Asper says Dexter Lawrence is apparently a one-man apocalypse. Nick Bosa was a human wrecking ball, and Parsons apparently the greatest of all time. How did they fare against our offensive line? They got shut down. They got shut down, man. We got David Kadingo Jr. says Kansas City is good and will give Eagles a better battle, but I still see the Eagles losing against the Chiefs. Eagles 37, Chiefs 21. Wait, you said Eagles losing against the Chiefs. You said Eagles 37, Chiefs 21. Still a good score, though. I'll take the win. I'll take the win. I'm moving down the chat a little bit. Chubb says, Joey, how would you stop Travis Kelce? I don't know, dude. I think they moved Chauncey. I think they moved Chauncey inside, maybe. There's different things they could do. Like, the problem with Maddox is when he's facing guys with, I don't know, a bigger tight end is probably going to hurt a little bit against Maddox. Maddox hasn't really done well against bigger opponents just from past. But I said the same thing about Kittle, guys. I said the same thing about Kittle, but obviously Kittle didn't do much in that game because they didn't have a quarterback to throw them the ball. I don't think Purdy was even great after he threw him that 9-yard pass. Johnson threw him that one pass he had upfield. The one pass that Johnson threw was upfield to Kittle. That was it, because they were throwing screens, slants, and dump offs. Like, that's all they were doing the whole entire game, or they were just running the ball. Probably because they were up multiples. Chewing clock was up for a plan. We got a super chat from Josh. I love the profile picture, by the way. Just saying. He said, I hope the Eagles eat up all that O-line negativity and use that to win the Super Bowl. Go Birds. Dude, I hope they do, man. They have such I feel like every time the stage gets bigger and brighter, this team gets more dangerous. And Philly was right, because when we played that divisional game, we beat the Giants, we beat the crap out of them, and then whatever team was going to the NFC Championship game, they were going to be running into a buzzsaw, and I think that's what happened. It's amazing, man. Like, I always thought the Eagles can get to this point. But when it comes down to it, it's comes down to coaching, it comes down to Jalen Hurts, and it comes down to the trenches. You know what I mean? Joseph and Sue make our run defense, and not one player had 100 over yards. Us. Savvy says, I feel like a Pro Bowl should be more like Oktoberfest. Lyman beer chugging competitions sound more interesting than a flag football game. Yeah, coached by Eli and oh my God, and Peyton Manning. God, it's getting so corny every year. Everyone says Pro Bowl is dumb, but if the skills competition stuff is fun, see which QB can throw the furthest. This is Maddox played good last Sunday. I think he's back to 100%. Oh, yeah, he's the most healthy guy we have when it comes to being banged up. He's the most healthy we have right now. He missed a lot of weeks. Cleet said Lane Johnson is completely shut down. 2 or 3 defensive player of the year candidates. He'll make it to 3-3 in 2 weeks. He's incredible. Drip says they can stop AJ. They can't stop AJ Smith, Quez, Goddard, Miles, Kenny, Boston, Jalen. Let's go take care of business. Yeah, and they tried throwing a deep shot to Quez Watkins. Quez really didn't have a chance after that. They're using a little bit of Zach Pascal for a catch or two for the blocking. They're doing a little bit more with him. So David says, I am scared of my home safety with a determined Hassan Reddick to get 5 sacks. I feel like the Eagles can get 5-6 sacks in this game. I feel like they can. I feel like they will. Chris Morales says, hey, Joe, did you see all that BS that Lane was false starting all game? Even Acho got to recognize the best tackle in the league for being a master at the craft. Yeah, I saw the video that Acho put up on Twitter, and it was like literally, no, it was Acho or Brian Baldy. It was one of them. I forgot who it was. I think it might have been, I think both of them put up those videos. That Lane was like, as the ball is snapped, Lane was moving at the same time. Like, yeah, you know what's funny? Because I watched it when I was watching the 49ers game. I was watching that game and I saw Lane jump a couple. I thought he jumped a few times in that game, but I kind of went back and I say, oh man, he kind of, he got off the ball at the same time. There was a few times I was like, is Lane like moving early and they're just not seeing it, or what's going on? So it's kind of nuts. We got super chat from C. Tay. What's going on, dude? He says, thank you for the super chat. He says, we will dominate up front. All we have to do is not turn the ball over and we win. Yeah, that's it. That is it. We don't do that, we win. That's going to be a huge for us. I think we'll be fine. I don't think we're going to be turning the ball over. No fumbles. The running backs have been playing. I love how they're still using all these running backs. Kenneth Gainwell, man, damn. I got to say, like, what do we do like with this situation at running back is going to be insane. Like Kenny G's had a really good year, but man, these last 2 playoff games, he's running tough. He's running hard. He's running tough. Even whether he's running with the ball or in the passing game, Kenny G is doing a really good job. I gotta give it to him. No joke. I gotta give it to him. Dank says nobody feels bad for the Eagles are in the Super Bowl. Hell no. I'm pumped, dude. I am so pumped. I'm ready to go. One HP says, I was watching a podcast with Derrick Henry and Taylor Lewan. Podcast Henry wasn't happy when he found out AJ had been traded. Imagine Henry. Yeah, I saw that video. I actually saw that on YouTube, and he was really upset over that because it was so on the hush-hush. That whole thing was on the DL, like no joke. Nobody really knew about it. I mean, they never even had reports about it that he was unhappy and the money wasn't going. They weren't giving the money that he wanted. And look what he did. Look what he did. He broke Mike Quick's receiving yard record. I mean, it's nuts, man. He's got over between playoffs and I think playoffs and regular season, he has over 1,500 yards. It's just nuts right now. Dorito Redden Hugo says, hey, Joey, do you think the deep ball Hurts missed on had to do with the wind, or is it? For me, I think it might have been his shoulder a little bit. It might have been pressure. It could have been a mixture of a lot of different things. That's just me. But yeah, I think part of it was, I think it could have been both ways. Chubb says, as a Chiefs fan, we suck and the Eagles are going to stomp us. Oh, dude, how do you talk bad about your team being in a Super Bowl? Like, that's kind of weird, isn't it? Just in case Andy Reid remembers you fired me, Philly. Yeah, and Nick Sirianni remembers that, and Andy Reid fired Nick Sirianni when he was on his coaching staff as a wide receiver coach. When Andy Reid got the job for the head coaching job for the Kansas City Chiefs, Nick Sirianni was the wide receiver coach. He got fired. Andy got him fired. So it don't matter, man. That's what I'm saying. Like the outside part of this game, what it means absolutely nothing. Like when it comes down to all of like the outside noise, like this team don't give a crap about who is there's only a few players in this building that were Andy Reid's coach, that played for Andy Reid. You know what I mean? I don't think that even matters, dude. I think that's all like, see, that's what you guys like want to make all this stuff up. You know what I mean? It's just to get involved with all that. Just stupid. May the best team win, bro. Colin says, I really feel good about taking the Chiefs. I feel like we got too much on both sides of the ball. I don't know what's going on with the offensive line. I thought somebody got hurt, but it is what it is. Just Andy Reid did nothing in Philly. He created a really good culture in Philadelphia, but he didn't win us anything. It's not unbelievable, bro. Obviously, you never watched the Eagles, so he did nothing for this franchise besides give us a good culture. Great guy, but he never got us to the promised land, bro. So I'm not going to kiss his ass. I will never kiss his ass. He hasn't done a damn thing. Simple as that. Joe said the Eagles play their game. I honestly foresee a fairly easy win. The team is just so deep and talented. Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to the the depth on this team, especially at the defensive line, is ridiculous right now. We'll see. Blue Green said, I think we keep our OC. I don't see any team going after him for head coaching jobs. It just blows my mind. I mean, as of right now, we don't know. I mean, I haven't heard any other teams. He completed that one with the Texans, but obviously D'Amico Ryans has that job now, and Frank Reich just took the Panthers job. That was huge. I think that he was a finalist for the Panthers job and didn't get it. Frog said Andy ruined at least 1 or 2 times. We should have won it. We got lucky. He got lucky with you. Jeff says, how happy are you guys? Agreed to sign with the Eagles now. Best decision of their lives. Oh, you're talking A.J. Brown? Oh, yeah, it was insane. Flylos 5, PC85 says, so Howie, what do you have installed this offseason for Eagles fans? Now we're going to find out. Jared says, how come Jalen Hurts never passed the football in the second quarter or in the fourth? It just depends on what they had everything covered, man. The defense did a fantastic job. They shut down a lot of our, there was some holding calls. There was a few things that were going on, but no, we couldn't get the ball out, man. We did whatever it took to win that game, and we ran on them. Simple as that, It says trading a first and second round pick for Sean Payton is beyond, especially for the Denver Broncos that already don't have draft picks as it is. I don't get what that franchise is doing. Remo says, I feel like Nick's vendetta against the Chiefs should be worse than Andy's against the Eagles. Andy got 14 years from the Eagles. Nick didn't get 14 seconds from Andy. So, yeah, I think he got hired and then he just got fired from me. I think Andy fired him because Andy had control of that roster. Then he said, yo, Joey, when we beat the Chiefs, this means we beat the GOAT. And now the baby goat, and we will have more rings than Andy Reid. Damn. Chris said, I think the deep misses are just Hurts being cold because he's not having to take 30 shots. Vlad says, Mahomes is about to show you what a real $50 million quarterback looks like. Marek says, hey, Joey, imagine how Carson feels watching his 2 backups win Super Bowls. Dude, yeah, it's a kill shot, man. It's a total kill shot for Carson Wentz. There's no doubt, man. There's no doubt. It's embarrassing. I got to say, when it comes to Philadelphia and like players of history, Carson Wentz is probably one of the top downfalls in history. Like that ended up in success for 2 quarterbacks, which is just nuts. Frog says, Andy helped to understand a winning culture. That's it. Charles said he planted the seed of tough lines, but couldn't deliver. Culture looking at him. Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see if he wants to stay with the Eagles or go there. That's a team that needs a lot of work right now. So we'll see. Purdy's arm. Purdy's got a torn UCL. So he's out for 6 months with a torn UCL. As of the news coming out in San Fran the other day. You saw the report. I give Brock Purdy so much respect. He got injured. He came back. And he still threw 2 passes. He's a warrior. I was like, what? I was like, these guys are calling him a warrior. Carson Wentz tore his ACL. He tore his ACL, LCL in that Rams game, and he still threw a touchdown pass to Alshon Jeffrey, dude. Come on now. Wayne HP says, if we win a Super Bowl and we have a top 10 pick, it's interesting to who our draft announcement since draft is in Kansas City. Oh, damn. Oh, man. Black Mom says, do you think Jalen will give us a discount? I don't know what's going to happen. There's 2 things that happen. Either he's going to ask for the most money as possible, or he's going to be like, hey, I want to get paid, but I don't want to cripple this, the organization. You know what I mean? Like, if it helps them signing other players or stuff like that, because Howie is a genius at moving money around and cap hits and all that stuff. I feel like Hurts won't take the most, but I think he will he's going to get paid, but I don't think, I think he doesn't want to. I don't know if he's going to cripple. We're going to find out. I mean, I don't care. Look, at the end of the day, like if he gets paid the most money, the highest paid quarterback, I don't know what it is, what's going to happen. But I won't blame him for asking for that. You know what I mean? I won't blame him at all. Godzilla says, Vlad the Impaler, why don't you take a second and worry about your own team? Jeff says, I actually love this team even more than the 2017 Super Bowl team. I think we are so much better than that team. I do. The only difference is we haven't won a Super Bowl with this team yet. That's it, man. 2 1,000-yard receivers, 1,000-yard running back, 4 defensive line players with 4 double-digit sacks. It's unheard of, man, in one season. Drew says, hey, Joey, just got home from work. Enjoy the conversation. Keep it up. I appreciate it so much, Drew. Thanks is good, a washed-up Brady. Godzilla says, fans of teams who are eliminated trying to trash talk. Yeah, it's really sad. It's really sad. Godzilla says, how is Trent Williams and his tantrum? Godzilla says, Trent Williams, let me find the smallest guy on the field to throw them to the ground. Yeah, it's so true, bro. Well, we got 301 people in the chat right now. If you guys haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Like the stream if you guys haven't. Check the pinned comment for memberships for extra content and support, because obviously after the Super Bowl, we'll be going over draft, and we'll have draft highlight reactions and all that stuff on the extra content as well. So it should be fun. We're getting ready for the next couple weeks. So Puck Furdy. Say says Trent mad, Eagles own him. Thanks says wannabe thug, say the fan base who says bang bang Niner gang and wear bandanas over their face. Bleeger says Reed Blankenship secure a starting role in my opinion. Kid is a baller. Yeah, I mean, look, I think he showed a lot, but I want to make sure he's still going to be good by next year. He's I don't think he's guaranteed a starting spot next year, because I mean, I'm really glad they gave him a chance. I'm really happy that Reed Blankenship had a big opportunity in that Packers game, and he made a play because of it. You know what I mean? So, and he caused a fumble on Deebo Samuel, which was good. I think he did, or maybe he didn't. I'm not sure. I thought he did, but David says, Jeff's here, so cute. We will send Reddick to chase Mahomes and a gimpy legs. The road to victory says Niners fan went from in Purdy we trust to he's just a third string QB. Telling you, man. Thanks says so want to be thugs. Refund HD, what's going on, dude? 0-0 says 100% Andy misses a timeout, screws up a scoring opportunity with clock management. Tino Clip says, do you think this team this year is better than 17? Yes, 100%. When it comes down, I think our receivers are better. Running backs, I don't know. Running backs, they might take the cake over ours just because we used, Corey Clement was fantastic. I don't know, because they use Corey Clement in ways they're not using Miles Sanders. LeGarrette Blount was great. Jay Ajayi, that was Kenyon Barner. It was a really good group of guys. And our defense is beyond better than that defense. There's no doubt. Glee says, I hate how people are still crying. Give us credit for the win. Nor do we felt sorry for us in 19 when Wentz went down. We had 40-year-old McCown starting. They didn't care when Carson Wentz tore his ACL. They didn't care when he was taken out of that Seattle wild card game in 2019 from Jadeveon Clowney. But I'm telling you right now, if Purdy won that game for the 49ers, they wouldn't feel bad for the Philadelphia Eagles. Simple as that. Simple. Vlad, they made me not want to go to the game anymore. It's like watching football with toddlers. Just as David Cañago, we got the best O-line. Yeah, we'll find out, bro. We'll find out. We will find out. Guys, why didn't Williams go after Linval or Fletch? That's because that's who he is, man. He wants to pick on the smallest dude. Kenny says, Joey Shakes there too. When teams trash talk, they get the golden rule. You talk shit, you get hit, Joey. That's what it is, man. They got to shut their mouth, man. Like, you opened your mouth all week. They were opening their mouths all week before that game, talking about what they were going to do, that they were going to be the more physical team, that their stadium is louder than Lincoln Financial Field. They're road warriors. Like, they were talking a lot of crap. All week. Dank said, just like Purdy deserved that busted elbow. Chief says, A.J. Brown getting locked down. Which receiver are you going to lock down in this game? Seriously. Who's going to lock him down this game? Who's going to lock up Devontae Smith? Who's going to lock up Dallas Goedert? Who's going to lock up Quez Watkins? That's all I got to say. For us, the games are won in the trenches, and Eagles are fierce superior on both. I totally agree. I 100% agree on that. David says, neither team is taking the other team lightly. I just think Eagles are playing vastly better. I totally agree with that. Ron says, Blankenship is a hell of a hitter. Coverage needs to work, but he will lay a pop on you. Yeah, no, I mean, I think the Giants game, he gave up like a couple coverage. There was like 2 coverages he gave up, and then he was fine after that. So, Seaboy Reggie said this Super Bowl is pretty much in the bag. The public is all over KC because of that. We haven't played anybody out of the narrative. Yeah, I get it. Thanks, as he played the best team in football. Refunds, I win either way. I became an Eagles fan when Chip Kelly era, and I added Chiefs as a second team when Mahomes started playing. I got lucky. This is the Super Bowl. So you're a fan of both of these teams? I don't know, man. I'm not a – I can't – I have too many friends that two-team. A lot of them do two-team, and I don't get it. It's always the team that always sucks, and it's always the team that plays really well. And or it's two teams that play pretty well. It just depends. But I don't – I mean, I respect it, but I would never two-team. Files, I think 2017 running backs are better than this year. Yeah, I kind of agree on that. I'm not trying to disrespect the running backs we have because they're a great group. But Billy Green said Trent Williams has started the 23 season suspended. People can't act up and start slamming people every time. The league has to draw a line. Yeah, I mean, they're probably going to hit him with a fine. He's got millions of dollars. They'll hit him with a $15,000 fine, which is like $2, and to give away. So Toto said Andy's were fine there. When it came to making possible moves to improve the roster, might have been a difference for us not winning a Super Bowl when he was a coach. Remember Greg Lewis fumbling punts? Yeah, that was a huge problem too. It's nuts. The refunds of the game going to be decided by Chiefs. Number one pass block line can hold up. We'll find out, bro. Because I'm telling you right now, like the Philadelphia Eagles defensive line, their second line can start for a team right now. Their second defensive line, their second line can start for another team right now. Not even kidding. They have 2 starting defensive lines and 2 rotations, and they have 3 rotations. I mean, no joke. Files 5 says, hey, Jeff, we won't be in KC. We'll be in Arizona. Files says, Jeff doesn't even know where the game is played. Ignore. Because AJ hasn't been dominating lately, and we still win. Yeah, no, I mean, it's not him being dominating. I think it depends on. I think the pass was overthrown in 2 games. He got an overthrown pass in the Giants game, overthrown pass in the 49ers game. He dropped that slant pass in the 49ers game as well, so that happened. These things happen, but our running backs had 150 yards rushing on the 49ers. Like Hurts had, I don't know how many yards Hurts had rushing, but he only had 120-something yards passing, so it wasn't much. Provis said the Bengals are in the 80s female pop band. Jesus. Kenny says, and you 49ers, you got cruised by a rock statue. This is why you don't play versus. Nah, dude, like teams they're going to do that every single year. If the Eagles are in the playoffs and they do that to the Rocky statue, that's what's going to happen. Fake fan. He's like, fake fan. My fiance still trying to get me the 2-team with the stinking Seahawks. Oh, please don't. I mean, do what you want, but please don't. On the road to victory says 2 teams. Is that like having a dual citizenship? Just in case it's going to be an interesting game, but we got the coach on QB, so good luck. What the hell does that mean? Like, I'm respecting what you're saying, but we have the coach. We have the coach at QB. I don't get that. I don't get what that even means. I mean, like, do you not like think Jalen Hurts can win this game? Do you think Jalen Hurts is really that bad? Like, obviously this team is here for a reason, right? Everyone says, yeah, Eagles my number 1 team, but I haven't become a Chiefs fan. It's a hard situation because I didn't expect this. Ram and Farmer, what's going on, dude? Josh says, I hope AJ goes off in the Super Bowl. He's so I know. I'm like, I want him to have just a monstrous game. But Devontae Smith, man, what he's done this year, like Devontae Smith, like you're talking like the yards he had, didn't have any catches in that first game against Detroit. And they didn't really use Devontae Smith beginning of the season. They used Devontae Smith beginning of the season on like the short routes, like the slants, comeback routes. Then like later in the season, they really started to attack Devontae Smith on defenses with A.J. Brown, and look what it did, a huge difference. He says, Mahomes loved the stretch plays, could be disastrous with our D-line, especially Sue. Yeah, Sue was pass rushing really good in that game. I got to say, Sue was doing a really good job in that game. And like when he had you never see Sue have Sue doesn't have many sacks. See, I think that was like his first sack, maybe his second sack of the year. He really does he's got like he probably has 2.5, 3.5 sacks for the year. He came in week 7 and he looked really good. I mean, he was a one-on-one sack with Johnson. He hit him so hard the back of his head hit the field. I mean, he had a concussion so bad after that. Bleeding Green said the Super Bowl is set, but all anyone seems to be talking about is the officiating from championship weekend. I know. No one can move on from it. You want to take the difference between this game that we had with the 49ers to what they were dealing with in Kansas City? That game was a joke. Casey was in favor for that game. Besides Mahomes getting pushed out 2-3 yards out of bounds, which was a stupid move on the Bengals. Those two sacks on Mahomes, then the PI call. The 2 free plays that KC had that they didn't blow the whistle. They let him have 2 free plays. It was really weird. It was really weird. Jonathan says, I have a bad feeling that Mahomes will get hurt again and then people will start to not care. Dude, who cares? Are you really going to care that much after a Super Bowl win? Like seriously? Like, come on now. Any team could be facing a hurt Patrick Mahomes, but I don't care. Like, Patrick Mahomes is still dangerous regardless, even if he's hopping on one leg. It doesn't matter. He's still a good quarterback, injury or not. I expect God to go off somewhat to affect the Ertz did in the 2017. I feel like he hasn't had the sample game since his injury. He's played really well. I don't see from all you guys that are like, oh, AJ Brown's not doing enough. Like, we're killing teams right now. Like, we're literally dominating teams right now. Like, whatever is working matchup wise, it's going to work. Like, there are going to be games when AJ Brown does nothing. There's going to be games when Devontae Smith did nothing this year. There's going to be games where Dallas Goedert didn't have a yard this year in a game. Like, it just depends on the matchup and what works. You don't have to give the ball to everybody every single game. Like, it just depends on matchup. You have good players. Every team has good players defensively. You have to look at your matchups. You can't force the ball to players on matchups because they're, the AJ Brown only has 12 yards receiving. It's the third quarter. We have to throw to him. We need to get his stats up. They don't play like that. They don't play like that. Drip says, keep downing us. We starving for the. Oh, dude, yeah, we're starving for the shit. We are. Because I expect God to go off somewhat affected. Ertz did something to do. I already read that. Lewis says, I will never have 2 teams because I would never love another team. That's why I don't play fantasy. That's why I don't play fantasy either. I used to play fantasy like 5 years ago. I don't do it anymore because I'm too biased now. So Flat says, you don't get credit till you win it all. We got no credit or benefit of the doubt. You don't either. Tommy says AJ has to have a crazy game. He hasn't had a good one in playoffs. Yeah, well, to be honest with you, he would have had better games in the playoffs, but Hurts missed him in the Giants game. He overthrew a pass to him in the Giants game for a touchdown, and he overthrew him in the 49ers game for a touchdown. So he kind of got robbed in these 2 games from Hurts not throwing the right balls to him. So UWA says, yo, what's up, Joey? I want Gainwell to get as many yards as he can in the Super Bowl. I want him to show people how much of a beast he is. I don't even get me started as Hassan Reddick, the GOAT. Hassan Reddick, man. Hassan Reddick was used in pass coverage a lot early in the season. Our first free agent signing this past year. Not even a Defensive Player of the Year finalist. Did better than Micah Parsons. Did better than Nick Bosa. Or might not even be Nick Bosa, but he was great this year. He did so well. I mean, he's got like, as of right now, between regular season and playoffs, he's got like 19.5 sacks. Like, it's just insane. He probably would have had close to 30 sacks. Like, I'm not even kidding. If it wasn't for the fact that Jonathan Gannon didn't put him in pass coverage early in the season, my God. What a difference that was going to make. It's nuts. I'm actually starting to hate the 49ers more than the Cowboys. Like, we when you get into the playoffs, you start to develop these feelings for these new teams you wouldn't expect that you would hate. I'm actually starting to really hate the 49ers. Like, I actually really hate that team now. I might even hate them more than the Cowboys, to be honest with you. It really got to that point where their fans were so cocky, conceited, and they were coming after Eagles fans. And what their players were saying all week, man, it's close. It's close. Eric says Browns get 2 touchdowns for 95 yards, 3 catches. Bleak Reed says I will be at the Super Bowl. Oh, dude, congrats, man. Like, I don't know how, dude, if you're a millionaire and you got to that game, dude, I would die to go to that game. I would die for it. But I can't afford that. There's no way. Yeah, I could probably buy a ticket, but like then I gotta fly there, and then you gotta get a hotel, and like forget it. It's gonna be like a $16,000-$17,000 night, probably. Probably more than that. Zay said he managing the game off zone reads and keep us balanced. It's hard to defend so much. Charles String said, which QB gets the MVP? Hurts with 51 or Mahomes with 5K? I think Mahomes is going to get it. Jalen Hurts is our MVP. I don't care. The MVP, I don't give a crap about it. I don't care about it. Doesn't matter to me. I don't care. Like, I knew Hurts wasn't going to get it just because Mahomes, because you're taking, here's what, like, Hurts in the league today, it's all about passing touchdowns. Even though rushing touchdowns are for the same amount of points when you score, it's never going to get respected. You know, him running with the ball in his hands will never be respected. It's never going to be. Mahomes is going to get it. That's all he's going to get, though. He ain't getting a Super Bowl win. I'll tell you that. Josie, Eagles win a Super Bowl on a safety block, field goal, on the dumbest play ever. Who cares? It's party time. Refund HD said this game will be similar to 2017. Great team versus transcendent QB. Better overall team. Eagles probably finding a way. Yeah, he might get 50 plus, dude, and I'm not going to blame him if he does. You said Chris Jones heard Philly called Arrowhead Herdhead. What? On the road to victory says Chronicles of Reddick. Dude, that's the perfect name, dude. Somebody said that, I think the last podcast. That was funny. Jeff said, you are right. Great teams find a way to win. We won games with the run with the pass. We won games with Will, AJ killing it, Smith killing it, Goddard killing it. Great things. Yeah, like every game is different. Like I hate when people are like, oh, he didn't get enough, catches. Like I'm like, dude, like how many points did we win this game by? You know what I mean? Like you can dismantle a whole team. It's just nuts. Josh Sweat, I was actually really shocked Josh Sweat played good in that Giants game just because he just got off injury or, because he had that, that scary injury. But we found out from the Eagles that put out the Eagles put out those videos, and he really wasn't that bad. They brought him to the hospital as a precaution. So he was good. He was fine. It says it's the same, bro. Niners cried more than the Cowboys. Totally agree. Dave said Reddick had 2 less sacks, but more FF and FR than Bosa. Reddick was better. Josh, shout out to Lane Johnson for being a beast with a groin injury and still putting in the work. Dude, it's insane, man. It's a war. That's a warrior, bro. Like, I honestly didn't think that injury was going to last. Let me tell you, Lane Johnson's injury, I didn't think that he was going to last more than a game. I thought he was going to be coming too much pain, and that was going to be it. He really shown up, and I appreciate that. I think the fans appreciate that. He shut down Nick Bosa. I mean, Nick Bosa ended up getting hurt in that game, but still, like, this man needs surgery. And he tore his abductor again. He torn another muscle after the Giants game, and he still shut down Nick Bosa in the next game. It's unbelievable what Lane Johnson has done this year. So, I have a feeling Robert Quinn going to have a strip sack. Glad he's in the Super Bowl. Yeah, dude. Like, I'm glad too, man. I mean, I think we wasted that 4th round pick from production wise. He didn't really do much. I think it was a waste. I'm not really worried about the 4th round pick because I know we'll get it back. I mean, we'll get a 4th round pick back this year, so I'm not really worried about it. Thanks. I don't care about running backs who can't stay healthy. Antonio says they have those packages with room tickets and nonstop plane tickets, offs, entrances, and festivities. So they have like package deals. It's a lot of money, bro. Like, I spend money on stuff, but if I got tickets for free, I would go. I'd be fine with getting tickets for free and paying for hotel or something, but yeah, it's a lot of money. Like the cheapest tickets are over $5,000 right now. I mean, it's pretty insane. God, so it doesn't mean Miles is trash. Miles is perfect for what Philly needs. Yeah, it just depends. It just depends on, like, how the running back fits with the offense. Keith said it was rigged. Don't you think that they would have let Purdy win it all and get that Disney movie out? Ron says Miles has so much tread on the tires. He wasn't used in 2020 with Doug Peterson. They barely ran with him that whole year. And the first 6-7 games with Nick calling plays in 21, he barely ran the ball. So yeah, he's got a lot of tread. And he was healthy this year. I said before the season started, I said if Miles Sanders is healthy, he will get 1,000 yards. He would have had a lot more yards this year. There was 5-6 games they barely ran with him in the first half. There were some games he didn't even have 25 yards rushing in the first half. There was like 5-6 games he didn't even have 50 yards rushing. I mean, just insane, man. Just insane how many more yards he would have had. He's can't rely. 49ers fans sound like the Cowboys fans bring up VHS Super Bowls. So if Raptor says, thank you, football guys. Tyreek Hill plays for the Dolphins. Slay wanted no parts of the cheetah in the preseason. No, dude, that was a bunch of BS, bro. He got tripped up, dude. He got tripped up. Tyreek's footing got in the way of a big play Slay, bro. If you watch that video, his legs got tangled with him on that route. I think that was a bunch of BS. But yeah. Fly says, I can care less what people say about this Philly thing. No one likes us. We don't care. Go Birds. Fly. Eagles fly. Torville says the 49ers should play the Cowboys in a playoff game on a Sega Genesis. Relive the glory for years. I'm going to tell you something right now, okay? The Cowboys are the fans have been somewhat quiet. They're probably like, they can't believe that we're in the Super Bowl right now. Some of them have already folded, that we were the better team all year, whatever. And then there's some that, they're worrying about their own stuff right now. Like, it's amazing because, like, Kellen Moore got fired. Kellen Moore is going to be the OC for the Chargers, and now they think that they're making excuses for Dak Prescott yet again another year. Like, now they're blaming how Dak plays because of Kellen Moore. Like, this is 8 years in the making, bro, with 2 playoff wins. Like, Kellen Moore was a big difference for that offense, but Dak can't get the throws done. He can't make those throws to win the game. They put up 9 points against the San Francisco 49ers. Come on now. Tell you something. That's just insane. That's just completely insane. He says Logan Norrisburg Mahomes is more of a passer than mobile QB. Joe says, Joey, I do realize it's early, but what is your thoughts? Eagles winning a score again. It's early, but I get what you're waiting. I'm waiting, dude. I don't know what the score is going to be. I think it could be close, or if the Eagles can get more pressure on Patrick Mahomes, I think they're off. I think the Eagles offense is unmatched with the secondary. Honestly, I think they match up really well against Kansas City's defense. I think they have the number 1 offensive line. They're going to take care of Chris Jones and Clark. I think they'll do a good job. Pre-channel that says this game will be out in hand second half. Patty will be sacked 3 times, 1 turnover, interception, 21-10. Yeah, like I saw they're gonna watch tape on that Bengals game. They're gonna see what the weaknesses are, and they got in the backfield a lot on Mahomes. They got a lot, and plus Mahomes isn't much explosive on his feet than he was before the injury. An injury could be a killback for him. So Dave said Eagles still won the Super Bowl as well. Stop thinking you are the Patriots. You only won 1 Super Bowl in the Eagles. What? I'm confused. Dank says, I just want to know what Trey Sermon, why didn't they play his former team? And you still haven't seen There's Something About Mary. I have not seen the damn movie yet. But we get this Trey Sermon question every single week. And hopefully it will stop after the Super Bowl. So Yeah, they tried to trade for Trey Sermon, and then they probably wanted too much. They put him off waivers. The Eagles picked him up. They used him for that Jaguars game for two snaps, and that was it. That's all they did. He had 2 really good runs. Yeah, so let's just take a time, appreciate, and say thank you to the Tennessee Titans. Oh God, dude, you gave up no day 2 picks. You gave up no picks from the Saints trade. And AJ Brown broke Mike Quick's receiving yard record. He came here for literally a 3rd-round pick. A 3rd-round pick. It's just nuts. It's nuts. God says, I'd rather play Miles $9-10 million than draft a running back in round 1. Yeah, I would say that too. $9 to $10 million would be a good angle, price range. But we'll see. I don't know. Saquon Barkley's trying to get $16 million a year. That they offered him. So the Giants offered Saquon $12 a year. They offered him $12 a year for 4 years, and he didn't take it. Early in the season, they were trying to get a deal done. Didn't happen. I don't see Miles. I don't know if Miles is going to come back for cheap. It's going to be. I say if there's one move that's really going to upset me, it's going to be Miles leaving Philadelphia. It's going to suck, dude. I'm not going to like it. And I'm not going to say that Kenny G is your starting running back going into next year. As much as I've loved him in the playoffs, is he a number 1 running back in the league? It's really tough for me to say. Ron said Miles Sanders is just going to get better. Y'all don't even realize how dominant he will be behind our line. Yeah, I mean, the thing is he going to be here next year? I don't know. I think dude, I'm not going after any other. If they're interested in a free agent running back, I'm bringing Miles Sanders back. I'm bringing Miles back with this team. No doubt. Files 5 says the Kelsey family is going to be going nuts. Travis first. Yeah, it's probably a good and it's a bad thing. Turtle with Nikers says, what Nike says, do you think Patrick Mahomes will throw 2 touchdowns or more? I don't, but will throw 2 touchdowns or more. He might throw 3 touchdowns. I can see him just throwing 2 for the day. I mean, I'm really confident in this defense. I'm too confident right now. I'm sorry, but we'll see. Calder Roberts says Eagles 36, Chiefs 17. Blue Green said, I've seen on Twitter that Miami Dolphins are bragging about beat us in preseason. Yeah, I saw that. The Saints some of the Saints fans were bragging about too. It's like, oh, we beat them. They beat Gardner Minshew, and they're making a big deal about that. Toville says Cowboys fans are upset Peyton didn't go to Dallas, so as if he would want to be Jerry's puppet. Because the Cowboys fans are bragging about beating the Minshew Eagles. Greek Warrior, what's going on, man? It says no better revenge on the Eagles. Hurts than have to watch the Birds in the Super Bowl, the biggest event, and they will keep hating because it's gonna hurt. It's gonna be Hurts again, dude. I agree. It's a big opportunity for us, man. Like I always thought the Eagles can get to this point this year, but when it came down to it, it was really the coaching. I was really afraid of the coaching this year. The coaching was like the big difference maker. So that's what made it for me. Yeah, those patches look really good, bro. I really like them. I like them a lot. I like the Super Bowl logo this year. I really do like it. I think it's awesome. Chris said they said that like Sermon, but wanted to see him in OTAs and preseason next year. Yeah, that's what I heard too. I heard they wanted to keep him. They got Kennedy Brooks back, which I was a big fan of Kennedy Brooks. They just gave him really no opportunities in those preseason games. They're running him east and west all the time. Like he's a north and south runner, man. He doesn't run east and west. I was a big fan of Kennedy Brooks, and they got him back for another camp. So Jason Miles said he hopes Howie bring him back. Defense is more important. Yeah, Miles was pretty much saying, I love Howie. I hope Howie loves me. Like he really wants to come back. They said Bijan Robinson makes the Eagles a 31-32. I would take him, forget positional value of Bijan. The Eagles will get an elite weapon for at least 4 years. Best running back prospect since Saquon. That's what everybody's saying. I think the Eagles are going to trade back that pick. I do. I think the Eagles look at it this way. Look at it this way. Okay. 2024, the Eagles will have 2 second-round picks. We got that second-round pick, I think, from the Saints trade. Eagles have 2 second-round picks in 24. Eagles trade that pick back this year. They get a second-round pick in a first-round pick in 24. The Eagles will have 2 firsts and 2 seconds. You got to be smart because you have to make sure that when you go into a year where Hurts's contract in 2024 is going to count with A.J. Brown, and then you're possibly going to have to pay Devontae Smith sooner or later, you have to make sure you have draft capital because if players start leaving and you can't afford to keep everybody, you have to start drafting those positions. You need as much draft capital. I think 2024 is going to be that year where we're going to be losing a lot more players that we literally can't re-sign because of the Hurts extension, because of A.J. Brown still being here. It's going to be a lot of money. They have to trade that pick back. They have to get another first-round pick. They have to get another first-round pick for another first-rounder for at least the 2024 season. They have to do it. So I understand you want to take 2 guys in the first round. Would love to do that. But they could trade that pick back and get more mid-round picks for this draft and get a nice chunk for next year. I don't even care if they get a second, trading 32 back and getting another second-round pick for 24. They'll have 3 second-round picks and a first-round pick. That's great. They can move up in the first round easy with picks like that. So I feel like because of the extension going into 24, and with A.J. Brown's contract and whoever else is due for a big amount of money, yeah, it's going to be a lot. You know, you have to start. We can't go down that hole again like we did after the 17 Super Bowl. We were having bad drafts and we were just restructuring and, more guaranteed money now, bigger cap hits later. We dug ourselves a hole. We can't do that anymore because that's when your team is going to start to deplete. And since that Super Bowl in 17, 18, 19, 20, 3 more years after the Super Bowl, it caught up to us by not drafting well. And it all caught up to us with the cap space. It wasn't good. We restructured way too many players. There's nothing wrong with restructuring players when you do it to your whole roster to save money and get under the cap. Going into the 21 offseason, we were $73 million over the cap. We had to pay $73 million back to get under the cap and sign players. So you got to be really smart going into that 24. Next year, not bad because Jalen Hurts' contract extension doesn't count for next year. You can make moves. We can actually make some moves going in this offseason. And let me tell you something. There's going to be a lot of players that want to play for the Philadelphia Eagles. Like a lot of players are going to want to come here and be like, dude, I don't care. I want to get paid, but man, I want to try to make something work. I want to play with the Philadelphia Eagles. I want to play with Jalen Hurts. I want to play with that defense they have over there. Like there's going to be players going to be very interested to come here. You know what I mean? So trading that pick back will probably be the best thing. So thanks to Gang Super Bowl with Jalen will be something I never saw coming. I know. Look, some of us did, some of us didn't. That's what it is. Says Devontae will have a 5th year. Yeah, and they might pick it up. Yeah, they probably will pick that up instead of giving him a big deal. They might just pick up the 5th year, maybe. And usually when teams pick up the 5th year options for players, it means that they want to get a deal done. Usually when these 5th year options are picked up, it's not just for renting them for the year. It's for trying to get a deal done if they can't get one done at the moment because of the cap situation, depending on what team and the financial standpoint situation of the team at that time. So they have to pay Hargrave. There's no doubt they have to pay him. That they can't lose. They can't lose Cox, Graham, and Hargrave. They can't do it. So you're losing Cox, Graham, Hargrave, Sue, Linval. Derek Barnett's still here for another year, but if you release Derek Barnett after this year, I don't want Derek Barnett here next year. I don't. Just get rid of him. Just release him. There's no dead cap. They're not going to get hurt by it at all. Release him and just let him find a team because I'm done with having Derek Barnett here. It's over. It's over for him. Ron says, I think TJ and Dean, that double linebacker set is going to be fun to watch. Yeah, dude. Like, Nakobe Dean is coming to the mix, man. Every time this guy has had opportunities to play, and trust me, he was drafted in the 3rd round, so it's like, you know how much of a chip on his shoulder he's going to have going into next offseason, knowing he's going to start. Howie knows that he's starting. Unfortunately, because they put money into Kaiser White, they put money into, TJ Edwards, is already here. He had a lot of good players in front of him, but what from what Nakobe Dean has said this past year has been soaking it all up in the linebacker room with Nick Rallis, and Nick Rallis has done a fantastic job with the linebackers. Definitely has to stay next year. Just soaking it all in, man. That's what it's all about. So it is what it is. Yeah, you could on but what are they looking for? I think Sue just wants to win a Super Bowl this year and call it quits. I think that's all he wants. I mean, he even said at the press conference, he even said at his post game on the field, he said, I've been wanting to play in Philadelphia for a long time. He mentioned it 2 times. He said, I've been wanting to play in Philadelphia for a long time. I talked to the GM. I talked to Howie Roseman. He didn't say I talked to Howie Roseman in the past, but I had talks with the front office here for years of coming here. I think the Eagles had interest in the Ndamukong Suh when he was becoming a Miami Dolphin. I think that was when he was, I think the Eagles had a lot of interest in him, but they didn't want to pay him that money. But Sue is great. Sue's a great depth guy. Clogs the middle and could pass rush at times. And, I don't know if they keep Linval and Sue again. I mean, yeah, it would help, but Jordan Davis really needs to step up next year. Next offseason, his conditioning, he has got to step up, because on top of being out of shape, getting hurt, signing Linval and Sue, then Davis comes back, which was great. I don't know what his weight's at. He's got to get better at the pass rush next year. I'm not looking for him to be an Aaron Donald at defensive tackle. I'm looking for him to be as a nice balance from run stuff to get some type of pressure as a DT, a little bit of a better pass rush. I'm not telling him to be an Aaron Donald to get 30 sacks a season. I'm just saying, he's just got to get better all around. So we'll see. But drafting a running back in the 1st round, I'm not feeling it. Who knows? If Miles Sanders obviously resigns, we don't have to worry about anybody. Boston Scott's a free agent. He might come back for a 1-year deal. We actually got Boston Scott off waivers. Like, no one picked him up, and we got him back for $1 million for 1 year. That was it. So it is what it is. Thanks to Jalen winning the Super Bowl, younger than QB who won the national championship. That's insane. I mean, obviously the youngest QB in Eagles history to reach the Super Bowl. But yeah, we're already an hour and 38 minutes into the stream. I do appreciate everybody being here. If you guys haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Like the stream if you guys haven't. Check out the pinned comment for memberships as well for other content and stuff like that. Yeah, we're getting ready. We'll have another live stream this week. The Philly Shakedown podcast will be Friday night. I was actually asking Philly this morning. I was asking him if when we were doing it this week. So we're not going to do it. So this Saturday, I'm probably not going to do anything content-wise because I want to relax this weekend. Sunday we'll have content, but Saturday I'm probably taking the whole day off. I'm just going to take the whole day off Saturday, relax. And we're going to have more videos. I'll have some YouTube shorts, some videos going into tomorrow. And yeah, that's it. That's really it. I mean, I appreciate everybody joining the stream today. We had a lot of people. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for everything tonight. We're ready to rock and roll, man. We have a little bit of a wait, but there'll be more content. I'm trying to figure out even more content for the rest of this week and next week. I have some things cooking right now, but I have some ideas of what I'm going to do soon. So like I said, we'll have some news out tomorrow. Philadelphia Eagles updates for tomorrow to keep you guys informed with everything. And we'll have some other things going on. So, all right, guys, you guys have a fantastic day. We'll see you guys on the next one. You guys have a great night. And we're going to have another live stream this week. Probably Thursday night we'll do a live stream or something like that. And then Friday we'll have the Philly Shakedown. So we'll have more content out this week, no doubt. So I appreciate everybody being here. Appreciate the support. All of the people that have been watching the videos, liking the videos. Like I said, I don't take this for granted, guys. Love you all. Are we going to be Super Bowl champions in 2023? We will see. You guys enjoy your night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Love you all. Peace out, guys. Peace.